see losses to Boss, Isolos Laser, and Party Astronauts. So recently for Timbermen, it has not been the most successful map. Meanwhile, for NRG, a couple of maps against Wildcard, including a win over a very good Wildcard roster, win over Party Astronauts, 2-1 against Nouns in the last 3 months as well. As we get ready to hop into the game, both teams ready to start on time. That is a rarity in North America. That pistol round starting right on the second mark. And here we go. It's Timbermen on the T side, NRG on the CT side. No kit for the CTs. Dual Beretta Ray to Boss for Hext, a flash for Nitro, Molotov and smoke for Snav as Timbermen collect control of Snake and look to go in for a B split.
Look to go for a B split slowly yet surely. 2 in cave. Make that the third rotating in. 2 out towards ramp. Straight dualies with some utility, or not dualies, Glocks with utility, excuse me, for this T side. The CTs have 1 set of dualies on Hext. Smoke and flash between OC and Nitro. And no kit in play. Timbermen getting control, maybe conditioning their opponents, and quickly changing gears now, walking down middle, meeting no contact. Proper automatic in donut will be tested. First shots ring by, no casualties yet. Automatic trying to hold on for dear life, but it's a trade. Shane finds automatic, Breeze finds Dare. And it's a straight play out through A as Breeze falls. Nitro gets 1, and he'll throw in a Molotov to delay the plant. No, it's actually a flashbang for OC instead. Plant will go down, but OC might just stop it. He does pull the player away, but he can't get a kill on either side. It's instead Shane to double up. Hext on the dualies in a 1 versus 3. He got the first. Snav in towards Donut, but 2 more to deal with, and Timbermen are wisely rotating around over towards the B site in the meanwhile.
Again, no kit, but no bomb planned for Timbermen yet. Finally, they get it down as Hex has a good amount of HP to deal with Aleph and Shane. The real threat to deal with is Shane, and he's not going to be the first one to face. It's Aleph instead with a nice little Glock headshot around the box. And Timbermen a pistol round, but we have seen this NRG roster struggle throughout ECL on the pistol rounds. So them losing the pistol, not too far off course.
Not too far off course. I would say par for the course. I think in one of the close qualifiers, I think they were like, what, 0 for 8 on pistol rounds at some points?
And then the next one they actually did decent on, but it was still pretty brutal.
Very brutal. It looks like that trend has not been bucked as of yet. Full save for them. Nade flash between Breeze and Nitro, but no upgraded pistols. Timbermen, rifle-centric investment. 1 MAC-10 for Snav, a pair of Galils, and a pair of AKs with pretty solid utility throughout as well. Looking to make this round rather quick and clean. Send us off to round 3 sooner rather than later. NRG down middle. They have a crossfire established, the T side, excuse me, but there's still 1 casualty in the chaos. Snav, will he grab the rifle? Yes, he will. So just the MAC-10 dropped. Very acceptable losses for Timbermen in round 2.
Yes, very acceptable losses for Timbermen in round number 2. And a good start for them as they look to establish a strong T side early. They do have the rifle investment that you mentioned going to the last round, which will bolster their anti-buy round against this NRG investment here. Going all in with their M4s and the FAMAS for Nitro. No kit on this CT side. That could pose a problem. There are players available to invest into that if they would have foregone a helmet against the Galils. Maybe you don't want to, but that's such an important piece of equipment to have on the CT side. Makes me a little concerned for the CT hold, unless Hext and company can hold a monster way off on the B side. Delaying smoke as the nade damages Dare down to just over half his health, and Timbermen are stalling out here, not wanting to over-aggress and kind of burning away that utility on the NRG side, but the spam from OC finds Snav trying to get something done, and so the opening pick goes the way of the CT side.
Very well found. That spam typically works in the favor of Timbermen on the T side, but not the case in round 3. Nitro mollied out of cave, but he's more than happy to give that up or maintain that man advantage. NRG on the defense, just under a minute, and the next had no utility left. They're going to try to take duels. Nice stack up in cave. Finds a second, furthering the advantage as Nero's dropped. Dare, though, picks on a timing, finds 1, and OC spotted crossing back out of caves. A good adjustment from Timbermen to try to chip away at the lead established, and Shane finally ties things back up, albeit at a cost of HP. 3 versus 3 as the play is in towards B, but Hex, our player to watch, is ready with a lineup. He drops Shane, he drops Aleph if I'm not mistaken, and Breeze finds the final nail in the coffin towards middle. Catches Dare trying to go for a quick rotation towards the A site. NRG on the board quickly. The lack of a kit does not come to bite them. 3 surviving can help them stabilize a bit with their CT economy.
It'll help them stabilize for sure, but more importantly, they don't need to use a kit in that round. They don't let Timbermen rather get the bomb plant. And so Timbermen's money is not in a great spot. They're going to elect to call a timeout very early into this one as well, which is quite a curious call for this side that honestly almost never uses it. It almost makes me wonder if they're calling bathroom break here, because it's very early for Timbermen to ever use a timeout, and the fact that they're going to go into the half buy on the back of it really kind of adds to that. One thing I would have liked to see is Breeze pick up a helmet in this round, but his investments have gone elsewhere, and it's full rifles, kits on 3, helmets on 4, and NRGs just have to avoid losing their rifles and that snowball effect that'll happen if Timbermen are able to pick them up.
It's always scary when the Tech-9s rush in, get the first kill, quickly scrounge for that rifle, and things can spiral out of control. NRG not going to be keen on letting that happen. Automatic challenging in middle, flashes. OC to support as well, finds one. Hex with the Molotov finds Dare. That was towards B ramp. And now NRG know what's up. They saw some pistols fall, called out the aggression. Now they just hold their lines, play disciplined Counter-Strike. Nitro smoking outside of cave. He's caught by that early Tech-9, and there's the rifle upgrade that we feared. Luckily for NRG, they still maintain that man advantage, and Hex has the information. They'll smoke off cave. They'll fight ramp instead. A nice adjustment. You don't see this kind of play too often. It's completely foregoing cave, but it makes sense here. Snap, boosted it up over. Looking for one, finds it. The smoke's too deep, and that undoes Hex. A big opening to tie up the player count once more. NRG rotating over, gambling all 3 here, and Timbermen are making the read. They're backing out of cave. The question is, do they go towards A, or do they stick for a B site play via the ramp? Ramp is the call.
Ramp the call. But OC is here, ready to receive. One walks around, no flash, no peek. Second for OC as he holds the line, goes for 3. Does quite a bit of damage before Shane eventually unseats him on the site. Ooh. A second headshot from Shane, bringing it down to a 1v1. Again, a half buy investment from the side of Timbermen here. And right now, it is the CT side that is wondering what in the world is happening. Automatic will be able to stabilize this round, but calling it a stabilization, it's a bit of a stretch. It's going to be a stretched economy on the CT side this time. A full investment of AKs for Timbermen. And at this point for NRG, their CT side hangs on the edge of a cliff in the early going.
Yes, it does. Losing everybody but one. Tremendous individual performance from Shane to really punish that CT economy. Turning what should have been a rather clean and convincing round into one where a bomb plant is given and where 4 are felled. Shane's had a tremendous start to this map, almost 280 AR as we start round 5. 2 kills per round is the average for him currently. It's rifles again in hand for Timbermen. Meanwhile, as I mentioned, NRG hobbled by their lack of money. Breeze is on an MP9. Nitro's again on a FAMAS. Ability is lacking. Good flash for Hex, though. Good only for 1. Trade comes in from that hero, Shane. Also quickly doubles back after that first engagement. 4 versus 4 normally favors the T's, and I think it does especially so now, given the lack of rivalry on Breeze and Nitro. Duel up top. Automatic can't connect the shots. Nitro and Cave on a timing is caught as well.
Was he trying to dodge a flash there?
I couldn't tell what he was doing.
I'm very curious as to why he looks away.
A lot of questions. Visible seals his fate. Breeze up top, outside of A on that MP9 I mentioned before. Catches 1, but gets too greedy, too desperate for the rifle. And it's caught trying to get his hands on that very weapon. These OCs proactively rotated. But can he pull off a 1v3? The answer is no. He fails at the first hurdle. Quick kill from Nero. And a 3rd on the board for Timbermen as they reestablish their lead.
Reestablish the lead, and it should be a 2-round lead as well, given the fact that the money for NRG is pretty abysmal here. They'll go into it with a force buy, a UMP for Hext, 2 CZs, a 5.7, and an MP9 in the hands of Automatic, a couple of Molotovs as well. Utility is sparse, kits are non-existent. So it's going to be run it down and see if you can find a gap in this Timberman T side. Just holding for pushes. Alep's here, but Nitro doubles up with a CZ. Hex pushes out behind him, and it's full control of B site for NRG. Automatics down mid, get help from Hex on the second, and it's a tie ball game with a stunning return to form for NRG.
No holds barred aggression, as you mentioned, catch Timberman out, and that is exactly what NRG do. A double on the CZ. I've noticed the CZ has been coming back into fashion for the NRG team. Good to see it actually doing the heavy lifting there. Pair with 12 bullets is no small feat, especially with that bucking Bronco. And Timberman figuring out what they're going to go for. There's one hero rifle that's on Dare. Interesting call. And a Tech 9 / P250 for Aleph and Nero. They've been having a decent performance for themselves as well. I was very worried looking at their stats over the last 3 months. They've had some lackluster performances, an average of sub 60 damage per round for both of them. Doing quite well for themselves thus far on Ancient. Minute 15. A walk up Snake outside B. Looks like a B pop is probably on the cards for them. Only time will tell commit.
It looks likely they don't have any utility, so a tight range, overwhelming of a defense seems to be the best course of action. The smoke won't really delay them too much either. A Molotov would be a much better piece of utility to use for this choke point towards Cave. But with 3 players here on B, it's either going to end positively for NRG, or the round's going to be over if they die. There's no real retake for the remaining 2. And already it starts off without a hero AK working wonders. Nitro from the cubby, only able to get 1. OC has to stand tall. The rotations are quick enough, but OC is doing the job on his own. Gets out the nade. Automatic goes for 1 as well on the Shane. Nero's P250. Get cut from the side by Automatic, at least for Timberman. They get the bomb down. That's kind of what they were hoping for here. Bomb down, couple of kills. Mission accomplished for the most part. NRG get the lead back here, 4-3. It's been very swingy back and forth, a pendulum of a first half.
It has. It's 2 rounds for 2 rounds, then a 1, isolated by NRG. Rifles will come through. I'm assuming it was Aleph who dropped the AK because he's now on a Galil in lieu of the ideal rifle. Good utility for both teams. And good riflery as well. 3 AKs in hand for NRG is definitely helpful on the defense. Timberman, what's the adjustment though? The straight play that appears towards B again, getting control, waiting out the utility, and establishing Snake presence. Nitro though, still challenging in Cave. Early aggressive smoke. A lot of room to work with. Trades out B ramp though early. This time around Timberman taking the duel and it favors them. Nitro racing forward on the flank is only good for damage. 2-man advantage secured. Breeze and Automatic rotating, but unless they find a kill quickly, they might just call the round quits.
The lurk from Alex, who has it all to do. Automatic able to take care of a low HP Dare, but takes too much damage on the other side of that. Breeze is caught from behind. There's that flank from Aleph, and it's all up now to Automatic to try and save the AK. NRG cannot keep a lead in their hands, and Timbermen are able to strike right back and tie this ball game up. Just looking at the side stats too, Timbermen are a more CT-sided team, 57% to 52.8. Meanwhile, NRG, more CT-sided as well, 59.8%, almost 60%, to just 53.6 on the offensive. And right now, their CT side is looking a little bit questionable, little bit suspect here. And Timbermen are finding ways to exploit this. The only thing is, it's mostly coming off of duels won for Timbermen. And that's not a way to win consistently.
They're not flashing themselves in for executes and winning the duels on the entry. They're kind of holding for the NRG aggression. Saw that double swing off the flashbang. I believe it was an NRG flashbang at B ramp to open up the round. But Timbermen, if they can win this round, they will turn a corner. They will force NRG into a compromised investment, probably a half buy. So a lot of pressure on this round for them to get a 5th and potentially a 6th off the back of Pistol for OC, MP9 for Breeze, and the spam from Automatic, or from Nitro, excuse me, very good to find Snav. Automatic is elsewhere, finds a 2nd. Who was that kill at? It looks like it was probably towards beat, I'm not exactly certain. No, it was in towards elbow of middle. Big kill on the lurk there. Aleph grouping up with Nero, the 2 new players out or inside A main, cut off by Automatic. He doesn't know they're in there. I don't think he does, at least. Stay tucked, waiting for this rotating bomb carrier in Shane. That's a big kill. It's just on the 2 young guns now, Nero and Aleph. 1 kill found thus far, but 4 more required to win round number 9. And with this flank and the bomb cut off as it is, it seems like a nigh impossible task for this pair.
Automatic 1 headshot, trying to avoid the whack-a-mole mallet, but he cannot do it for the second. Aleph has 1 entry into the A site. Minor problem, does not contain the bomb. So, Aleph will have to go retake this or elect to save an AK, the latter more unlikely than the former. And Aleph will begin to clean back out towards the T side of A main. Working with 3 on the other side. Aleph around the corner, spots out 1, and actually does take out Hext as well. Some pretty good shots from Aleph in this round, and throughout the entire map so far, NRG are able to win the round, but they only keep 2 alive. It's not going to be great for a CT economy, which has never left the fledgling stages. They've yet to have an op-out for OC either, who still manages to be towards the top of the scoreboard despite never using his primary weapon. At least for NRG, this round, I would say, should be good and easy to win, but Timbermen are going to go for a full force again, and why not? It's worked for both sides so far.
It has. Their scrappy aggressiveness is yet to really be punished. The Tech-9s can really open up a round. It's OC. No holds barred aggression over towards A main to find 1. Breeze a 2nd before falling away. Dare is now on low HP as well, so the advantage secured and heftily so with the amount of health remaining calculated in. All 3 Timbermen players forced to just cower outside middle and hold for aggression. NRG, though, should know it's time to pump on the brakes and hold with the advantage they have established.
Don't lose more players to the pistols. Build up a CT economy. That is the mantra for the 4 remaining NRG players. Automatic, out in middle, tucked away, waiting for the players to come on through. Spots out 1, I believe the gun barrel of a 2nd. Takes out Dare with 1 shot through the wall. At low HP coming back to bite him. The bomb drops in front of Snav as well. As NRG converge upon his position, Nitro's the one to eliminate him at range. And 6 rounds for NRG. They at least get a tie ball game going into the second half. They would love an 8-4. And this might be their chance to get a free 7th as Timbermen have nothing. 4 players under the $2,000 mark.
Destitute. You mentioned it was a gamble investment with 2 AKs and 3 Tech-9s. Did not pan out. Didn't even get a bomb plant. Which means they'll have very little to work with now. P250 for a left. Smoke for Snap. Probably a quick play towards A. All 5 in A main racing forward. Molotov thrown in by Breeze. He heard the sounds. So he'll spray away in the Molotov. Only 2, nearly a 3rd and a 4th. His rifle will fall and now be recovered. There should be no real chance for this bomb plant, though. Shane finds another Automatic, and OC, though, kills. But OC finds a 2nd. 7-4, guaranteed advantage. No bomb plant either. Really hurts this T economy. They have a good loss bonus, but that extra bit of cash from the bomb plant would really flesh out their utility. As you can tell, Aleph electing to go for a Galil to get full utility instead. An unfortunate compromise there. NRG. Finally, we see an op in play. It's in OC's hands. It's the last round of the first half. See if he finds success at the last minute.
Automatic again going aggressive out middle. OC's op is playing passive on B. Nero moving up will elude the spam from Nitro. A lot of information sound-wise. Tosses some fire. Nitro backs away through it. And he will hold behind the flames as they will extinguish shortly. 3 3-2 has been the standard setup for NRG throughout the course of this half. Timbermen have not really adapted to it, and OC's up. Moves over towards Cave and starts it off with Snap being the first victim. Timbermen taking some utility damage as well as more is raining down from NRG to contain this Timbermen side. Nero does eliminate Breeze, but he's treated instantaneously. Nitro grabs one back as well, and we find ourselves in a 3 versus 3. Aleph lurking, but is completely read by Automatic. That is a veteran read from a veteran player, leaving just Shane and Dare, two very long-time teammates, to try and find a fifth out of this round, which seems so unlikely given OC's entrenched position. Hexed around towards Long as well. Utility may give Dare an opening to get on through. Need to blow it open. That's going to be the last kill. What a play by OC. And NRG will have a nice 8-4 half going into the break.
Tight and contentious start to the first half ends in the sway of NRG, an 8-4 lead as they enter the T side of Ancient. It's Pineapple Phillips and Boggs to bring in the action, and Timbermen to bring out the double dualies for both Aleph and Dare in round number 13. The second half pistol. Lots of utility for Automatic and OC as well on the T side of things. Automatic's had a heck of a map for himself, as has OC. Straight B plays on the card. 3 in Cave. Dare playing B. Ramp's good for 1, as is Snap, but Hext and Nitro answer in kind. Hext finding another, in fact, and establishing an advantage for this T side. He continues to pressure over towards Long, and he will continue to find success, in fact, leaving just the second pair of dualies on a flank, a late flank, and alone. With no kit in play and time rapidly dwindling, Aleph is probably not long for this world at this stage. Might have even been spotted there. Timing's everything, and timing's simply not in his favor. Nitro gets him with a USP. NRG, a 9-4 lead now with the pistol round victory. And this could very quickly get out of hand for Timbermen.
It definitely very quickly get out of hand for Timbermen right now. And that is a very scary proposition for them. Of course, there is still another best of one coming up, but it started off so well for Timbermen. They kept pace up until 4-3, and then NRG really began to run away with this map. Pistol round victory looks to secure that even more as double digits all but there on the board for NRG. Galils and AK, they got utility, they have such a firepower advantage. Nothing for Timbermen, just the P250 and the HE. Players already being chunked down by the NRG airstrikes too. Full utility clearing out of the site. Players rushing to try and recontrol. Nero are already falling down to the ground. Smoke going through. Bloom coming up. And it's just a matter of time before NRG punch that second, or the 10th rather, on the board. That second of the half as OC traces Dare through the smoke. Snap will bubble in fear, and at least get hexed for his troubles. But overall, very clean round from NRG. They'll be happy to get an extra AK into the next round regardless.
Yep. It was a rifle-centric investment. Give them the most longevity possible. 4 survive. Timbermen going to go for the investment, but much like NRG's first buy in the first half, it's going to leave a lot wanting. No kit. 2 players are lacking helmets. That's a big issue going against 60% Galils on the other side. They're also lacking a lot of utility. Only 2 Molotovs and 2 smokes in play. 1 Molotov already being used. Both Molotovs already being used, in fact. Difficult spot for Timbermen to be if the round goes long, especially so now as automatic catches Nero jumping over the smoke middle.
Early opening for NRG, which might scale into 2. Indeed, it does. A cascade forward of success for automatic out middle. Cannot come up with the third, but does significant damage to Allen, which comes up with a massive second kill. Double tink on the Nitro. Breeze gets the return frag onto the Donut player. Bomb goes down. 3v2 hold. Although Hext is out lurking bottom mid, so there's a long rotation for him to get to side of Snap and Shane. Are able to come up with kills. However, OC's not expected. That's a pretty easy angle to clear out too, and Snap just completely overlooks it, leaving Shane in a 1 versus 3, which he may as well attempt to save on. Only problem, Hex has read the situation perfectly. He's going to cut off the rotation, flanking all the way to the team.
Yeah, Shane throws a smoke to try and keep players near. OC beheads him. Heck of a map for the Opper without the op in hand. 11-4, 2 away from securing this first best of 1 on the evening.
Very smooth coast towards the end here from NRG, barring anything crazy. Deagles, 5.7s, MP9 for Timbermen. NRG should be able to weather this storm well. It's a full-on B stack as well, and NRG are going towards this side. Hex is able to open things up with 1. He should be able to figure out there's too many people here. This is not right. OC will trade him out as Dare went 1 for 1 with Hex, and yeah, NRG's bailing. They've seen way too many bodies on this site. They've read the stack, and the bomb's going to be able to get safely over towards the A site before anybody from Timbermen can get there, unless automatic takes his time. He's diligently clearing, which is good. Dare's going to get into position. He's half HP anyway. Nitro's just holding that flank. Comes into timing for him. And Dare, burn, ticked, running and making noise. It's all figured out. NRG will have 12.
All but guaranteed. Shane should be saving this AK, in fact. Snap might even save his armor or at least go for exits. Don't commit to it. Sneaking out with the AK. Finds one. It's a rifle upgrade now potential for Snav. And it looks like they're still sticking around. Or at least Shane is escorting his teammate towards that weapon. Now they should head for the hills, though. Time, third of the way gone. Breeze holding the cross CT, though. That wants to do the damage. Can't quite get the kill. But the next player at red might fare better. No. They'll both fall back. 4 players will survive, 2 on each team. But Timbermen have a tall task ahead of them. They need 8 rounds in a row to go to overtime, and that seems like too great a feat for this team.
way too great of a feat for this Timbermen roster, which has been cut down to size with the departure of Dia in particular. And it's a Timbermen team that was struggling to get things going throughout the course of this season of ECL as well, because their record in ECL primarily before Dia's departure. So this team has been on a bit of a downturn, and they've been able to hang around in this level for so long. Will they be able to come back and be able to do anything significant? I don't know. Snap's able to get one on the trade with automatic entry out to open up the B side. The bomb can get planted as well. Maybe a bit dangerous as Hex has to jump over some spray to get the bomb planted around the pillar. 4 versus 4, desperation retake for Timbermen as their backs are against the wall. They lose the round. It is over for the map, and NRG will improve their map record. OC takes a lot of damage. I believe that was a leg shot from Nero. But Timbermen are starting to run out of time. The nade will give them a one-man advantage as they try to pop on in. The flash works out well for one, but Hex gets bailed out by automatic, and Nitro, who has 2, leaving it all up to Aleph running up the ramp. One and only one. 13-4 for NRG, and despite the shaky start, a very clean and confident finish.
Yep, a rather contentious start, but one that quickly falls by the wayside. As you mentioned, it was a 3-4 half at one point, slightly in favor of NRG. And from there, they did not look back. They lost one round and won the next 9 to secure a